Run out as Denver takes a 10-0 lead to the locker room, and we have a 10-0 lead over the Seattle Seahawks. Mile High Stadium as the Broncos are ready to kick it off to start the third quarter. Denver holding to a 10-0 lead. David Treadwell hit a 17-yard field goal early in the second quarter, and then John Elway hit Ricky Nattiel on a 61-yard scoring play as Warren runs it back for Seattle to the 25-yard line. And now let's check the Coors Light halftime stats. Read them over, Trump.
And I think the one thing that jumps out at you is the rushing yards by the Seattle Seahawks. Those 35 yards came on 12 carries. Time of possession clearly in favor of Denver. Main reason, Seattle just 2 of 7 in third down conversions, and the fact that Seattle had 5 fumbles, lost 2. This is a half that Seattle would just as soon forget.
Good to see Jeff Kemp is okay and ready to quarterback the Seahawks. He was 7 of 17 for 119 yards in the first half. Handoff, John L. Williams holding the ball hard, and he gets ahead as a marker goes down. Williams with both arms on the ball. He had a problem holding on in the first half, as did some of his teammates. Here's Red Cashin. Oops, the run was broken open by a hold.
Goodness. So the problems of the first half continue into the second half. This is the way the Seahawks started in the first half.
On the run, number 54 on the offense. It's still first down.
That's on Grant Feasel, the center, but look at that. Totally inept offense by Seattle. This offense does not have any type of personality like Chuck Knox once. He's not getting anything from this offense. 3 plays and no yards twice in the first half.
But the hallmark of this team, and David Wyman says it's the big difference from a year ago, they will not let up. They were down 17-0 with the Seahawks opening day at New Orleans, came back to take the lead, although they eventually lost by 3. Here's a throw and a catch, not for very many yards on a first down and 20 play. Ball is out close to the 20-yard line. Derek Fenner caught the ball, and Warren Powers put the rush on.
But still, Seattle almost going away from the run. Fenner out of the backfield, outlet receiver. Kemp does find him. Simon Fletcher, 73 on the tackle.
Grant Feasel down over the ball at center. Edwin Bailey and Brian Millard the guards. Andy Heck and Ronnie Lee is out with an injury the last 2 weeks. Bill Hitchcock is working at right tackle. Scanzi goes in motion. Kemp rifles one in. Ryan Blades goes up for the ball but can't get to it. Defended on the play by Charles Dimry.
Randy Robbins came from the inside. You know, the one thing about Jeff Kemp is Dimry's slow getting up on the first base side of the skinned area here at Mile High Stadium. Jeff Kemp does have a very strong arm. Throws the ball very well deep, and that one he really hustled in between those 2 defenders. The Blades could not make the catch. Not good numbers. Nothing like they were last week. But it almost looks like Seattle's going completely away from their run game here. Third down and long, but
last week the Seahawks broke it open against the Jets when they scored 17 points in less than 3.5 minutes. So Coach Knox needs some of those big plays today. The Raiders are now up 13-0 on Indianapolis. 4 wide receivers in the game, as on third down and 16, Jeff Kemp sets at his 15-yard line. 4-man rush. Pump faking, buys time, drills it down, and the ball is picked off by Dennis Smith. Smith still going inside the 15, down to the 11-yard line. Lewis Clark finally got him.
Ball went through Paul Scanzi's hands.
Dennis Smith, still one of the best in his 11th year. 38-yard interception return.
Great zone coverage here by Denver. Watch everybody drop. When Kemp brings that thing back, it gives the defense a chance to know what side of the field he's going to. Excellent defensive job by Lilo Lang, knocking the ball away from the receiver Scanzi, and Smith with the interception, and great field position for Denver.
Couldn't be much better as they start 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Gaston Green, 2 arms on the ball, takes on tacklers and gets down to the 6. Our producer today for NBC Sports is Bill Bunnell. Our director, Richard Klein. The executive producer of sports for NBC is Terry O'Neill. As Dennis Smith, a consensus All-American in Southern California. And weren't the Trojans something last night after a loss to Memphis State?
My goodness, they got some players. But then every year they got some players. You believe that Dennis Smith and Ronnie Lott were in the same backfield at USC a number of years ago?
How about their third roommate? They roomed together.
Marcus Allen.
That's a sweetful. Hall of Famers. Here is Gaston Green taking the ball down to the 5-yard line. And there's a marker down on the play. Eric Hayes, a defensive tackle, made the stop for the Seahawks.
Holding Denver.
Holding during the run. Number 67 on the offense. It's still second down.
Doug Waddell, the right guard. Speaking of outstanding performances, there's a great team in Seattle, Washington. Don James has another powerhouse at the University of Washington. And they're heading into Lincoln to play the Huskers. I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, that's not a bad game. Not a bad game at all. But Don James is not the least bit afraid of Tom Osborne's Huskers.
5 superpowers emerging in college football. Miami once again one of them. Right now the Denver Broncos go on second down. Elway with a quick flip over the middle. And it caroms off his intended receiver, Robert Perriman. Well, 17 to play in the third quarter.
Interesting play choice there. Here comes Steve Sewell in the ball game now. He would much rather throw the ball to Sewell than he would to Robert Perriman. Perriman's a blocker. I think we've documented that Sewell has much better hands than Robert Perriman. And he likes Perriman. I mean, he likes Sewell in passing situations.
Whatever.
You understand me, don't you? I'll get it out here in a minute.
We're both gaining on it here. Third down. Elway needs 16. He gives the pitch up the middle. Sewell breaks it. And is finally taken down in the 10, inside the 10. Again, it was never out of position. Nesby Glasgow that saved a touchdown.
That was the old shovel pass. Seattle comes with the blitz, and Sewell almost breaks the tackles. Now watch when Elway goes by him. Watch the tackles he breaks. Porter misses him. Blackman misses him. And it takes Glasgow 22 to finally stop him. Not enough for a first down, so Treadwell in for the field goal attempt.
He hit his earlier try from 17 yards out. He's one of the NFL's best. And again, David Treadwell, a third-year player from Clemson, drives it through. Interesting that his counterpart for Seattle played against him at Georgia. It is now 13-0 Denver as a second David Treadwell field goal extends the Broncos lead over the Seattle Seahawks. Now Treadwell's ready to kick it off. Warren and Lavelle are back deep now for Seattle. A well hit ball. It'll carry down to the goal line, and here comes Chris Warren. Out to the 20. And Jeff Kemp and the Seahawks offense comes back out. Special teams play made by Ronnie Halliburton, who was shaken up earlier. So Ronnie's all right.
Well, anything Seattle gets here on offense is going to make some people on that other sideline very happy. Their offense has looked very, very weak today. Denver is a good defense. It's not that good.
We'll see if Kemp can throw through it. Here's a big rush, and Kemp wisely fires it away.
Intentional grounding. Yardage lost and a down. Mike Kroll was there with good pressure. So was Simon Fletcher. You can see he is flushed from the outset. Kroll gets outside of John L. Williams.
Intentional grounding, number 15. The spot of the ball, loss it down, set it down.
As I said earlier, now this Denver defense is good. I don't think it's that good. They have given Jeff Kemp no time to throw whatsoever. This is not a big defense. And you see people like Mecklenburg and Kroll and Fletcher. These are undersized people. Great foot speed. They have harassed Jeff Kemp all day long.
And it's been the Denver pass rush that's overwhelmed the Seattle front. From his end zone, Kemp takes a look, throws the ball, and John L. Williams drops it. Ron Holmes putting the big rush on. As we check the Hertz 10-minute ticker, a Norwood field goal now gives Buffalo the lead for the first time over the Jets. Raiders continue to lead the Colts at the LA Coliseum. Land up by 3 on San Diego in the third quarter. And here at Mile High Stadium with 11:12 to play in the third quarter, the Broncos are in the lead 13-0. Jeff Kemp, before last week's start, had not started an NFL game since '88. Snap on 3rd and 24. Completion. Lewis Clark looks for room to run, and he's ahead to the 20-yard line, but 10 yards short of a first down. Mike Kroll was on coverage as Kroll really starts to show he's going to be a force in this league. 51, Mike Kroll, a consensus All-American from Nebraska.
The third fastest player on this team behind Gaston Green and Vance Johnson. And this kid is 230 pounds.
Grew up in Massachusetts. He was the 100-meter champion for the state of Massachusetts as a high school senior. Rick Donnelly now punts the ball. Hits it end over end downfield. And Ricky Nattiel fair catches the ball at the Denver 44-yard line. And what they're seeing so far as the Broncos are in command of the Seattle Seahawks 13-0. And it was a year ago in this matchup here at Mile High. At this point in the game, the Broncos had a 14-point lead. Only to see Seattle come back as we have a big lead hit put on by Terry Wooden, an outside linebacker. Gain on the play about a yard.
I would certainly think that Denver leading 13-0, 10-10 to go in the third quarter. Be very conservative here. Going to be a real test for John Elway in his play calling. He's out there in the huddle controlling what's going on. Let's see what kind of patience he has here. You know, John Elway is one of those guys that likes to get it deep early and often.
Dan Reeves said maybe the biggest reason they went to Elway calling his own plays was just to make the game more fun for him. The whole offense has been on his shoulders ever since he's been here. This was an added dimension that Elway wanted. Gaston Green gets the ball sent out to him and missed the white line because they were still playing outside the bounds.
That white line is the foul line for the Denver Zephyrs. A rare little trick here by Gaston Green. Breaks the tackle. Watch this little move inside. Sets up the defensive back. Gets outside of him. I think it's 22 Glasgow. No, make that 27. Patrick Hunter who misses the tackle. There's the foul line for the Denver Zephyrs, and there's the out of bounds marker over there.
Doesn't make it confusing.
Again, though, nice choice by John Elway. He's got the swing guy out in the flat. He makes that choice as opposed to trying something down the field. First down Denver. The only way Seattle can get back in this ball game right now, Don, is multiple turnovers for the Denver Broncos. And Elway, I'm sure, is aware of that. Denver's defense is playing very well for the rest of this game. Just protect the football. Be conservative.
Over his now 9-year career, Elway has thrown more touchdown passes against Seattle than against any other team. The one he hit earlier today to Ricky Nattiel from 61 yards out was his 25th career touchdown pass against the Seahawks. Pitch back to Green, and there's a penalty marker down on the play. Game clock down at 9:25.
Number 63 on the offense before the ball was snapped. Still first down.
NBC's premier week on NBC. John Elway on the run and room to go. He loses the ball. Seattle has it. Wooden picks it up, and he does well to hold on to it as everybody goes attacking the football. So Elway makes his only mistake of this day, losing the ball on a scramble.
He could tell it was happening. Rufus Porter was chasing him. Watch when he breaks up through here. Somehow the ball slips out of his hand. He's carrying it very carelessly there, and it gets down on his hip, and he can't. No, that's Jacob Green chasing him. Ball bounces loose. That's the only way Seattle can get back in this game.
Seahawks trying to generate offense. Now they come out of the huddle with good field position, starting at their 39-yard line. John L. Williams runs straight ahead out to the 44-yard line as Atwater, the strong safety, free safety, came over and tackled him with a shoulder to the knee.
Now to this point, the Seattle Seahawks run game has produced very little, which I'm sure is a lot of frustration for these players. I think they pride themselves in this running game, and they can't really get enough to take pressure off Jeff Kemp. That 5-yard pickup will slow the defense down a little bit.
A pitch back. Williams again. John L. Williams making sure he holds the ball, gets ahead for a couple of yards. Dennis Smith having a big game at the strong safety position. Number 49 comes up with another one of those cannon tackles.
That was a great play by Dennis Smith too. Sweep coming right to him. Fights underneath the block. 49 should come into your picture late. There he is outside. Fenner 44 is supposed to block him. Smith slides inside to make the tackle for about a 2-yard gain. One of the game's great safeties, Dennis Smith.
The word great not used loosely. 3 times a consensus All-Pro player. 3rd down, Kemp in the shotgun. Seahawks need 2. Picked off by Steve Atwater.
The Seattle Seahawks rely on protecting the ball. That's their 4th turnover today.
Another turnover, and here's Elway coming in. Look at that throw. And again it is Michael Young coming off the right flank. As Elway drills it, Young holds on despite a hellacious hit put on it.
Slow getting up, his 5th catch of the day. That's a high percentage pass. 5 catches, 57 yards as he's trying to get to the sideline here.
The strength of Elway's arm is still a marvel the way he guns that in there.
Yeah, and you can see the coverage was good. That's Hunter or Harper, and that's good coverage, and Elway still guns that ball to Michael Young.
Gaston Green runs on 1st down. Might have been.
He put that ball on the ground.
Eric Hayes and Jacob Green were the tacklers for Seattle. Next week the Seahawks have a tough one. They head into Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Broncos will be home again, their 3rd home game in the first 4 weeks when they play San Diego here.
Well, I don't like Seattle's chances in Kansas City next week the way they're playing offensively today. Just wearing this defense out, not doing much offensively.
San Diego just got a touchdown pass from John Freeze to Anthony Miller. It's now a 10-7 game. Atlanta leads. Jeff Jager kicked his 3rd field goal for the Raiders. They've extended their lead to 16-0 over the Colts. Elway with a throw. Marker is down, and so is Shannon Sharp, an H-back they call him. Big wide receiver out of Savannah State. His brother, one of the best when he's in good health with the Packers.
Sterling Sharp. This looks like it's holding against the Denver Broncos. A lot of hands-on hips here by the Seattle defense. You can tell they've been on this field an awful lot today and getting tired.
Holding number 67 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
A holding call on Doug Weidel. Let's watch John Elway. He looks at his menu, and then the sign he's given to the sideline is the personnel. He knows the down and distance. That's the first thing he considers. All right, long yardage. We're going to face nickel package. Get me this personnel in here. The penalties there. Just 3 on Seattle. And now he's got 4 wide receivers in the game with Sewell in the backfield.
Well put. He calls for the personnel he wants, so the sideline is a pretty good idea, but Reeve says it's still a revelation every play what he's going to do because only he knows. An out pattern goes to Young. He loses the ball, and it looks like Denver might have recovered it.
Who recovered that thing?
One of the down linemen might have been Keith Karps, the center.
What's with that football today? Brian Davis makes the hit. Watch how close this is to a sack. And watch the strength of arm. That's Jacob Green coming around. He's hanging on to his shoulder. He still gets it out there to the receiver. That's Young. Makes the catch, gets up, and gone again. That ball is slippery today.
He's another former LA Ram, Michael Young. His first 4 seasons with the Rams came to Denver 2 years ago as a Plan B free agent. Elway on 3rd and long yardage, 3rd and 25. Drills the ball in. It'll be 10 yards short of a first down. The completion is made to Mark Jackson, the veteran receiver from Purdue. The gain was 15 yards, and the tackler was Brian Davis.
Okay, it's going to bring up 4th down and 10. No question they're going to punt this ball. Well, one of the things that John Elway and Dan Reeves have both admitted about him calling the plays, a great deal more communication between the two. Gary Kubiak is a part of the equation. They don't talk there, but Mike Shanahan's upstairs, Dan Reeves is downstairs, and the 3 of them talk a great deal between series.
And here is Haran, the punter, back out, and has led the NFL the last 3 seasons. Angle punt. And there's a marker down also at the line of scrimmage. 4:05 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Illegal man downfield.
The Jets now lead the Buffalo Bills as Blair Thomas caught a touchdown pass.
Ineligible down the field, number 96 of the kickers. That penalty is declined. It'll be first down at 10.
Let's take a quick look at a Hurts ticker here. With 4:05 to play in the 3rd quarter. Before we do that, we'll break for this. 13-0 Denver. As the Seahawks continue to try to generate offense, they come out of the huddle now. A first down and 10 coming up at their 18-yard line. 4 wideouts in the game as they're going to open it up. Down 13-0 to the Broncos. Kemp fires. Good connection. Tommy Kane comes down with the ball all the way out to the 35-yard line. 17-yard gain on the play. And so the Seahawks get a much-needed first down. And we go to Bob Costas in New York. Interesting plan of attack working so far as the Jets, a big underdog at home, lead the Bills. And right now, Derek Fenner runs hard into the Denver Broncos defense and gets close to the 38-yard line.
Don, there's 3:25 to go in the 3rd quarter, and that last pass reception by Tommy Kane, the first down Seattle's had in the 2nd half.
And as you've been pointing out, Trump, the Seattle defense is laboring. They've been on the field so much in this game. Elway, with masterful play calling and execution, has really controlled the tempo of the game.
This Denver defense has pretty much said to Seattle, we don't think you can run it. We're going to sit back here for pass, and it's worked all day long.
Denver's defense is not big, but the Broncos have maybe the best ingredient, speed. They can fly. A little too much lead on the throw to Tommy Kane. It's incomplete at the 46-yard line. Now let's take a look at the Hurts 10-minute ticker. Jets a surprise leader. Raiders in command now in the 4th quarter at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Atlanta continues to lead San Diego on the Chargers home field. And here at Denver, it's 13-0. The Broncos over the Seahawks with 2:48 to play in the 3rd quarter. On 3rd down, Jeff Kemp and the Seahawks need 7. Ball at the 38-yard line of Seattle. Here comes the rush. Kemp stands in, delivers the ball to an open man, but it comes in low. Tommy Kane had the cornerback beaten, but the pass was low.
Randy Robbins was out there. Steve Atwater was out there. Just can't get it out there far enough. Ron Holmes with a little pressure on Kemp, but he just can't quite get it out there far enough to the receiver. So another 3 downs and out. Make that 4 downs and out by the Seattle Seahawks. 1 first down in the 2nd half to this point.
As on 4th and 7, Donnelly's back on the field to punt. McTeal is back as he goes to field the ball. No fair catch signal. It takes a hop back at Seattle. penalty. The Seahawks down and out at the 34-yard line of Denver.
John, that may have touched the Denver Broncos. Lilo Lang, 21, was down there. They give the ball to Denver. But you could see Ricky Nattiel yelling for everybody. It's a short kick. Get out of the way. I don't think Lilo Lang got the message. That may have bounced off his foot.
Net yardage, a 28-yard punt.
Now watch what happens. See Nattiel, he's motioning for everybody. Watch his arm. Get out of the way. Here it comes. See if we can see this hit somebody's foot. Ooh, I don't know. That was awful close to 21's foot, but Denver keeps the ball.
Gaston Green with those quick moves into the line, and the cutback gets him ahead for a gain of 4 yards on a first down carry. Middle linebacker David Wyman, now in his 5th year from Stanford, made the stop. One of the best, Wyman, although he doesn't get the press.
When he talked to us last night, I didn't realize, but when he was at Stanford, 1, Jack Elway was his coach. 2, he said he made 3 tackles on that famous kickoff return by Cal against Stanford.
Back in '82.
Made 3 tackles and Cal scored.
He was a freshman at Stanford when John Elway was a senior. Big rush. Jacob Green, and Elway delivers the ball to Perryman for a Denver first down.
Unbelievable.
Elway continues to excel.
This guy makes something out of nothing more times than any quarterback that plays the game. Now Jacob Green should have him dead to rights. Running away, puts it right on the money to Perryman. Perryman makes a nice catch. First down pickup. Drive stays alive. So difficult to defend a guy like John Elway.
Elway's been at his best this season. Came in as the 3rd-rated passer in the American Conference. His numbers could go up as Gaston Green breaks into open field and down the 36-yard line of the Seahawks.
This has got to be a result of the fatigue in the Seattle defense. They've been out here on the field so much. That's a 16-yard pickup, and they're just not really fighting at the line of scrimmage. Rufus Porter, 97. He gets logged by Doug Weidel, 67. Gaston Green to the outside. Look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I count 5 Seattle Seahawks on the ground at the line of scrimmage. They're just worn out.
Denver, fresh as can be, lines up ready to attack again on first down. Elway out, makes the connection. Shannon Sharp is on the run inside the 20-yard line and down to the 18. Eugene Robinson, the free safety, the last line of defense, brought him down as Elway continues to spread the ball to everybody.
Elway's making fun of Shannon Sharp. Come on, knock that guy off of you. Eugene Robinson was hanging on to his shirt tail for dear life as the quarter ends. Another high percentage completion, another first down. Denver completely in control. Vintage Elway. Blitz comes from the right. Seattle's taking chances here. Blackman on the blitz. That means weak safety Eugene Robinson has the coverage, and he is hanging on to Shannon Sharp for dear life.
Now as they switch ends to start the 4th quarter, the Broncos go with the ball at the 18-yard line of the Seahawks. Elway ready to drill it again. Comes in low on his attempted pass downfield. Looking at Reggie Johnson, a rookie tight end, number 89. Denver knows you can't give Seattle a chance. You got to keep putting the points up. This Seahawk team has a history of coming back.
Elway certainly appears to be in complete control of this offense, though, doesn't he? Spreading it around, a lot of different formations. They haven't scored a lot of points, but they are certainly in control.
On 2nd and 10, they go to the run. Gaston Green takes the full brunt of Terry Wooden, having a good game, a former Syracuse All-American, backing the line at the left outside, number 90.
Well, that didn't work. They were all over that one, but Green out. Sewell comes in. It's going to be the full wide receiver set. The popular receivers today have been Young, 83, Sewell, 30 for John Elway. On a 3rd down and long.
Four wideouts in the game for the Broncos. Elway in the shotgun on a 3rd down and 10. 4th quarter, early in it, 13-0 Broncos.
Blitz.
And again, Elway is hurried as the Seahawks are now getting the big heat on him. Coming hard on the play was Jeff Bryant, the veteran from Clemson, number 77. He popped Elway just as he released the ball.
Down for the rest of this game, the Seattle defense has got to take all kinds of chances. They need the turnover. They need lots of turnovers to get back in this game.
And Treadwell is back out. He's 2 for 2 on field goals today. This will be a 35-yard attempt. Gary Kubiak is the holder. Snap, set down and kick. All good. And the Broncos add to their lead as they now go out in front 16-0. Will be. Our statistician Ray Friedman pointing out there's never been a shutout in the Seattle-Denver series.
I like Denver's chances at this point.
Treadwell ready to kick it off again. 14:05 to play in the fourth quarter. And the Broncos on 3 Treadwell field goals and a 61-yard scoring pass from Elway to Ricky Nattiel have taken a 16-0 lead. 2 yards deep. Chris Warren brings it back for the Hawks.
Uh-oh.
And breaks it all the way out to the 35-yard line. Shannon Sharp was down on special teams on the play. Keith Traylor was also on the play for Denver.
Jeff Kemp on again, hoping that there's a new page in that Seattle playbook that's got some magic in it, because at this point there's been little.
Coming hard as there might have been some movement in the offensive line of Seattle.
False start. Number 15 on the offense before the ball was snapped. Still first down.
It looked like Jeff Kemp was the guy that moved. He drew everybody off. But they get the false start. Dead ball foul, so it's 1st and 15.
With 48 yards rushing, as you see in the second half. The lack of a running game has hurt the Seahawks, and they're looking for reasons. Same people blocking up front, same guys running the ball in the backfield. And they ran the ball well oftentimes the season ago. 1st and 15. Kemp takes a look. Too much on it as he was looking at Brian Blades, who was open.
Well, the magic that Jeff Kemp had last week is not there this week. He's thrown the ball high. He's thrown the ball behind receivers. You see Chuck Knox on the sideline. A thoroughly frustrated head coach.
Number 16 behind Chuck Knox is Rusty Hilger, a former Raider. He's signed on as a free agent. There's the guy that they expect to be the quarterback of the future, Dan McGuire, home run hitter Mark McGuire of Oakland A's fame, his younger brother.
Kemp 10 of 28, 2 interceptions, 151 yards.
Kemp on the drop, 2nd and 15. Open man is Blades, and he's ahead to the 47-yard line. A first down for Seattle.
Blades' second catch of the day. Plenty of time here for Kemp to look around. Good mechanics by Jeff Kemp, keeping his feet moving. So you use those feet as a turret so he can throw around the field. Finds Blades open for a first down. Just the second first down the Seahawks have collected in the second half of this game, Don.
Jeff Kemp has had a lot of Ivy League passing records at Dartmouth, and his receiver was a record-setting Ivy pass catcher, David Shula, Don Shula's son. Travis McNeil might have left early, the tight end for Seattle. These are troubled times for the Seahawk offense.
False start. Number 86 on the offense before the ball was snapped. Still first down.
A quick look at the ITT 10-minute ticker. Jets holding to a 1-point lead over the Bills at Giant Stadium in New Jersey. Raiders still in command of the Colts 16-0. Atlanta continues to lead San Diego 13-7.
What an upset that would be if the Jets beat Buffalo. Whoa.
An upset that they've held them to 16 points. They usually get that in the first 5 minutes, the Bills. On first and 15, Kemp fires it out. The ball's taken by the tight end, Travis McNeil. And they'll spot his forward progress out to the 46-yard line. Gain of 4 yards on the play. Mike Kroll came up and struck him hard, number 51.
You know, Carl Mecklenburg also assisted on the tackle, and we've not called Mecklenburg's number many times today. I don't think it has anything to do with Mecklenburg's lack of play today, but the defensive line of the Broncos have, for the most part, shut down their running game. I don't know that they've needed Carl Mecklenburg today. Total yards in the second half by Seattle, 69. Goodness.
Second down and just over 10. Kemp loses the ball. It's a free ball. And Seattle gets it back to the 43-yard line. Now you see why Mike Kroll was picked 4th in the first round.
Don, that is the 6th fumble that Seattle has had today. They've lost 2.
Look at this guy run.
He goes outside, and they've got a real little running back, Derek Lavelle, trying to block on Kroll. That doesn't work. That's what, the 2nd or 3rd sack? First sack for Kroll. Just the first sack for Denver on the day. They have harassed Jeff Kemp all day.
Denver coaches said Kroll was having some problems getting adjusted to all the different variances in the Denver defense. He looks to be right on track right now, as he's been a standout all game long in just his 3rd game in the NFL. Simon Fletcher puts on the rush, and the Seahawks have to punt it again.
Looked like Szymanski, 94, got his hand up in the air and knocked that ball back right at Jeff Kemp. Szymanski is playing tackle. Let's see. I think that is 94 Szymanski, but anyway, it brings up 4th down, and a very busy Donnelly in to punt again today.
Szymanski from Michigan State, and Rick Donnelly drops back once again. 7th punt of the day. It's a good one, very high, that forces Natil into a fair catch as he lets the ball go. It hops into the end zone, and on the touchback, Denver will go on offense. 1st and 10 at the Broncos 20-yard line, a 57-yard punt. Dan Reeves of the Broncos well pleased with the effort of his team as the Broncos are in the lead 16-0. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy back here at Mile High Stadium. It is interesting that when the Broncos were 5-11 last season, Trump, Dan Reeves said we were close in just about every game. Don't count us out. We're not that far from being back to where we were. And 2 seasons ago, they were a Super Bowl team. As right now, they go to the run quickly, and the ball is taken out to the 21-yard line. I don't know if it's a Super Bowl team, but they're improved.
Well, I think the only problem that Denver is going to have, there are going to be games when you need a big running game. You can see Wooden 90 is all over Gaston Green here. And you're going to need somebody who can break tackles. Bobby Humphrey did that for him for the previous 2 seasons. Gaston Green is never going to do that for him. But they're going to have to somehow figure out how to win games when the weather's bad or they're against a tough defense where they can find somebody to break a tackle that they can give it to.
Jets have now taken a 20-16 lead on the Bills with a lot of time left and another Pat Leahy field goal. As the Denver Broncos, with the big lead, intent to run the ball. Fans get a little anxious. They want to see more offense.
Denver to this point 342 yards of offense. Not bad at all. They've got 17 first downs to Seattle's 9 to this point in the game. 9:50 to go in the game.
Against a good defensive team. Bruce Cosler of the Jets, the head coach of that team, told us after last week's loss at Seattle, he said this team is just solid in every dimension. They aren't in the top tier in overall personnel, but in execution and preparation, they're right up there.
Well, what's happened today?
Well, they haven't been able to move the ball. They have no running game. Without that, there's often no passing game, as Elway throws one of his few errant passes of the day. Looking at Mark Jackson.
You know, Cortez Kennedy's not been a factor today. Neither is Eric Hayes. He's not been a factor today. This receiver's open. John gets very mad at himself any incompletion he has, even one that's 30 yards on the line from the far hash to the near sideline. He expects to complete them all.
Elway, the leadoff man in that select quarterback class of '83. Broncos, the only AFC team to go to the Super Bowl 3 times during the '80s, but as you know, they never won it. There is a punt. It was partially deflected. So the Seahawks will get good field position as the ball is picked up now by Dwayne Harper. 23-yard punt. NBC tonight. Lots of good things. It leads off with the adventures of Mark. Box office hit Problem Child all tonight on NBC. Throwing a catch. Eric Fenner looking for room to go. And he takes it down to the 22-yard line. Seahawks still have time to get back in it with 9 minutes to play. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Denver Broncos and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the NFL, of the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos, and all rights are reserved. Seattle with one of its best chances. 1st and 10 throw and a nice connection. As the ball is drilled in hard by Jeff Kemp, and Tommy Kane goes up and comes down with it despite the hard hit put on by Braxton. Kane having one of his best games. He's caught 5.
For some strange reason, the offense is working now. Now, in part, the Denver defense is going to make sure that nobody gets behind them. The coverage is going to be loose. Mecklenburg 77 underneath. Tyrone Braxton deep. It's obviously a zone, but the deepest penetration by the Seattle Seahawks so far today, Connor.
It is indeed. They go 1st and 10. They could conceivably get another 1st down inside the 1. Kemp looks, he fires, and wisely throws it wide of Tommy Kane, who was well covered by Wyman Henderson. Jeff Mills, a backer, was coming hard at Kemp.
Quarterbacks do pay a price. That's Mills, 52. Shoves Kemp down, but he bounces right up. He's all right.
Now it's Rulli. The ball is fouled. They cannot get a 1st down, so it'll be 2nd and goal just inside the 10-yard line. Jeff Kemp's overall numbers today, but last week he threw for 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He needs the 2 touchdowns to get Seattle back in. Here's a throw. And the ball is broken up beautifully by Randy Robbins. Tommy Kane was the intended receiver, but Robbins, as you see, goes way up and deflects the ball.
That was beautifully executed by Randy Robbins. Lots of motion here. Kemp is looking at Kane all the way. Nice jump by Randy Robbins. Well timed to knock the ball away. And the quarterback. Come on, get in there. No. Doggone it. So it's 3rd and goal.
Jeff Kemp, not big, but he's got a real live arm. He can put pop on it. And now he goes with a flood of wide receivers. 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. And again, the pass is defended nicely by Randy Robbins as Kemp had no place to go, and 4th down comes up. The field goal kicker comes out.
Tommy Kane was the intended receiver. He turned in. Kemp threw it outside.
John Casey, the rookie 4th-round draft choice from the University of Georgia, ready to kick the ball.
If you take a chance here, you got your starting quarterback in the game. You try to score here. You try a little trick play. What?
Be interesting to see. Kemp is the holder. The Broncos, though, are well trained to look for that. They're going for the kick. And Casey, strong of leg, drives it through. And the long streak of no shutouts by either side in this series continues as Seattle is finally on the board, albeit down 16-3 with 7:30 to play. Coach Knox hoping something big happens for his Seahawks. The best he's seen today was that field goal by John Casey that put them on the board for the first time. Broncos waiting the kickoff by Casey lead the game 16-3. Alton Montgomery, in his wisdom, will down the ball in the end zone. certainly deserves mention, Trump, is the line play of the Denver Broncos. Sean Farrell, left guard. He's been taking on Cortez Kennedy, who's just dominated teams this year, and we haven't called Kennedy's name much today.
No, the defensive line of Seattle has had very little effect on the outcome of this football game, and I agree with you. One of the big factors that we were going to watch is the second-year offensive tackle Jeff Davidson. He's been an offensive tackle for just 3 weeks. Well, Rufus Porter and Woods have been no factor today, so the Denver offensive line has been outstanding.
Now Denver runs the ball. Gaston Green takes it close to the 20-yard line. These fans want offense. They don't want gut runs.
Yeah, well,
they like the 16-3 though.
Yeah, I don't think it's smart for the Denver fans to expect John Elway to just run with a wide open offense here. I mean, Seattle's had 6 fumbles, lost 2. Denver's coughed it up a couple of times. Let's be very conservative here. You can't take any chances with Seattle, as you've said before, Don.
Chuck Knox is of the feeling that Elway throws much better from the set position than he does on the run. They were hoping to get him running. Like now, Lyman's after him, and Elway goes out of bounds. Almost a late hit. No flag yet. Tony Woods tracks him down. Here's the flag coming in.
Now, right at the snap of the ball, there was a flag. It looked like the nose tackle, Eric Hayes, had jumped off sides, but that's one of the reasons you give the ball to Gaston Green. John Elway is the franchise. Offsides defense.
He is the franchise and more.
Kubiak is not a bad quarterback, but everything rests on the shoulders of John Elway. With Bobby Humphrey not here.
Offside. Nose tackle on the defense. 5 yards, still second down.
Eric Hayes, 78. Now Seattle is going to take a lot of chances for the remainder of this game. Tom Catlin's going to have his defense in blitz situations and taking a lot of chances because they need the turnover and they need more than one to get back in this football game.
Elway with 4 touchdown passes this season, 1 today, and no interceptions. A second down and 5 call from the 25. Elway rolling out, releases the ball, and Harriman can't get to it. Incomplete. That brings up 3rd down and 5. Big rush from Jacob Green, number 79. He can still get it done.
He can still outrun any defensive lineman in the game. Again, mentions to the sideline, I want 4 wide receivers. That means Sewell comes in. And Jacob Green can't quite catch John Elway, and Elway's able to get the ball away. Here's Catlin, Tom Catlin, the guy with the hat on, headset on, hand on his chin. Been a tough day for his defense. They played a lot today. Look at the 3rd down conversions. Neither team would have done.
Coach Catlin just had his 60th birthday. Now playing the back 9. Feeling better than ever. He's been on an exercise program as Nesby Glasgow came on a blitz.
Well, Denver's given Seattle a chance to get back in this game. Again, now every time Haran goes back to punt, you got to figure that Seattle's going to have 10 guys up, try to block it, get back in this game. As poorly as they've played with 6:13 to go, any kind of a defensive score or turnover here puts them right back in this football game.
Dan Reeves looking at a team that will have a share of first place, it appears, at the end of the day, with the LA Raiders, who are also in command of their game with the Colts. As the ball is hit downfield by Haran. Another fumble, but Chris Warren does a good job fielding the ball, and then he's taken down to the 32-yard line. Shannon Sharp with another play on special teams. 42-yard punt. As we'll let the scoreboard show now from Sunday number 3. Detroit goes to 2-1. The Giants, the Super Bowl champions, fall to 1-2. The Bears are 3-0 with their win. Cleveland's now 2-1, a 3-13 team a season ago. And in the late games today, we'll get to those momentarily. Here with 6:02 to play, Seattle with the ball trails the Broncos by a 16-3 score. Jeff Kemp throws hard, and on the run is Brian Blades. Breaking into open field. It's a foot race now. Atwater's after him, and Atwater will get him. Atwater at 225 pounds runs down the fleet Brian Blades.
Huge play by Brian Blades. Kemp finds Blades out there almost uncovered. Finally there's a blown coverage there, but watch him accelerate right here. Really turns it on down the sideline. Ends up being a 37-yard pickup. And Seattle at the 20-yard line, the Denver 20-yard line.
Blades with his third catch, his 19th of the season. He came in as number 2 in the AFC behind Andre Reed after 2 games. Reed had caught 20 in 2 games. Now Kemp on 1st and 10. They pick up the blitz. He swings it out. Here comes John L. Williams. And Williams is down to the 10-yard line. Seattle still with time to get back in it. Down 16-3 with 5:15 to play.
Dennis Smith makes the hit again. Denver very soft in coverage here on those last 2 receptions, Don. Dennis Smith had to come from a long way away to make this tackle on John L. Williams, just swinging out in the flat.
So Seattle starts to look sharp on offense now. Late in the game, down 16-3. Kemp stands in, throws, and catch is made by Blades down to the 2-yard line. Wyman Henderson made the tackle, saving a touchdown for the moment.
It's a slant. Kane on the inside, clears out the inside coverage man. Then it's a foot race between Wyman Henderson, 24, and Blades. Beautifully thrown by Jeff Kemp there, Don. Absolutely perfectly thrown.
Kemp really putting it on the hands now of Brian Blades on some big completions. Blades, a standout, used to winning 4 years at the University of Miami in Florida. He played on teams that lost only 2 games. Now a timeout is signaled for by the Broncos. They want to check their defense with 4:07 to play.
Yeah, I think they were missing a guy. 2, 4, 6, 8. There were only 10 guys on the field.
Which is legal. You can play with few as you want to put out.
Not suggested, though. Jeff Mills was late coming on.
Now while we have a moment, let's swing on out to New York. Coach Ron Meyer might be talking to his owner soon. Pressure's on Coach Meyer as Fenner goes over the top, and he goes in. He broke the plane. And we've got a ball game now. It's 16-9. Extra point coming up, and 4:04 to play.
Well, you looked at, when you take an overview of this Seattle performance today, it's come down to 2 big plays, hasn't it? I mean, there just hasn't been much for Seattle. The big catch by Blades. Fenner, big tall guy, last year with 14 rushing touchdowns. This is his first rushing touchdown and Seattle's first rushing touchdown of the 1991 season. Clearly, he does break the plane of the goal line. This is an important extra point here.
Very important. And it's knocked up and through by the rookie Casey. Spells his name K-A-S-Y, S-A-Y. And he'll kick it off very shortly with 4:04 left to play, and all of a sudden,
6 plays, make it 4 plays, 67 yards, and their first touchdown of the day. Well, they're a touchdown and an extra point away from winning this football game.
Now the challenge: can the Denver Broncos move the ball and move the chain markers and run the clock? The kick hit downfield. Alton Montgomery is counseled not to bring it out by Gaston Green. And so the Broncos will start 1st and 10 at their 20, holding to a 6-point lead with 3:57 to play.
Jeff Kemp has thrown the ball 39 times today. 17 of 39, 2 interceptions, 266 yards. And the Broncos have allowed the Seahawks.
Elway checks with running back Gaston Green, his lone setback. Working with double tight ends are the Broncos and 2 wide receivers. On 1st down, Elway times the throw downfield to Natil. Same play that went for 61 and a touch earlier. But Harper was with Natil stride for stride.
Yeah, I don't like that call, and I have a feeling that came from the sideline the first play of the series. What Denver has to do is go with the high percentage completion, the crossing patterns, the tight end open, as opposed to going for the whole thing there.
An expensive opening call. They didn't hit it. Now they've got 2 downs to get the 10. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Elway can certainly run with the best of them.
And it stopped the clock, the incomplete pass. A lot of time left. 3:53 to play. Broncos lead at 16-10. Tip ball up for grabs, and Elway wisely slaps it down. He's seen this before.
Looked like David Wyman, the middle linebacker coming on a blitz, got the ball up in the air. So now it's 3rd and 10. Look for 92. There he comes. He's right on the guard. Does he jump up in the air? No, it's not Wyman. It's Jeff Bryant, 77, who gets his hand on there. And Elway gets that ball to the ground. So now big call for Denver. 3rd down and 10.
Final score in Atlanta has beaten San Diego 13-10. Raiders head to Atlanta next week to play the Falcons, who are now 1-2. And the Chargers get the set come to Denver with an 0-3 record. Here's a throw and a catch to Michael Young. He's cut down, though, short of a first down by only a yard. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 1 now for the Broncos. Brian Davis made the play for Seattle.
It'll be 4th and 1, Don. And
4th and 1, excuse me.
Before that completion, Elway had missed his previous 7 passes.
4th and 1 indeed it is. So the Broncos tried to hit a deep play on 1st and 10 from their 20, an overthrow, and then they couldn't get there on the next 2 downs. And now the Broncos are going to give the ball back to Denver with 3:12 to play. Paul Scanzi is back deep, a wide receiver for Seattle.
10 men up.
Very sure-handed Paul Scanzi fields the ball. Nothing ever happens when you run wide in this league. The guys coming down are too fast. The great punt returners go with the basic law. The shortest distance between 2 points, just straight ahead. Next Sunday, NBC 76,000 plus at Mile High Stadium, stamping their feet as Kemp drops on 1st and 10. And he has to eat the ball at the 30-yard line, a loss of 7 yards.
Oh, somebody's hurt there too. Edwin Bailey is still on the ground. Somebody rolled on the back of his leg.
Warren Powers and Ron Holmes were the pass rushers who got to Kemp.
That's the 2nd sack of the day for Denver. Kemp had an awful lot of time there. Coverage down the field. Very, very good for Denver. He had no place to throw it and had to take a bite out of it. It looked.
The Louds line up. The crowd noise cascading down. 2nd down and 17 for Kemp and the Seahawks. 4-man rush. Kemp sprints out. Simon Fletcher's after him. Throw downfield, and Kemp does well to get the ball out of bounds. Now, while we have a moment, let's check the latest happenings as we go. So the Bills take the lead, but for the moment, just up by 3. The Broncos are leading here at Denver by a 6-point margin. 3rd down and 17 comes up for Jeff Kemp. Maybe it's the last chance for the Broncos. 2:24 to play. Last chance for the Seahawks. A throw and a catch and a first down for Seattle as Kemp, against the big rush, fires the fastball to Tommy Kane, who's having a career day with 6 catches.
That is the inside of the zone here, which has been open in the last drive. That's where they found Brian Blades. Now they don't get the playoff. 2-minute warning. The inside of this zone defense by Denver here been very, very sloppy.
Well, they're playing that 2-deep zone. There's a lot of room underneath it. 2 minutes to go, and on 3rd down, Jeff Kemp just hit the big play. The Seahawks had to stay alive. Gunning the ball downfield to Tommy Kane, and is now positioned at the 46-yard line of Denver. So Coach Knox knows they're still in it.
And Kane, 6 catches, 122 yards on the day. And a big man for Jeff Kemp.
Again, Jeff Kemp sets in the shotgun, brings Scanzi in motion. 4 wideouts in the game for Seattle. 4-man rush, it's coming, and it's coming hard. Throw, and it's Scanzi didn't come down with it. But one hand up for it, and that wasn't enough. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Boy, he had John L. Williams out in the far flat, wide open with nobody within 15 yards of him. He kind of locked onto Scanzi running the crossing pattern, but John L. was out there and would have gotten the first down, and most assuredly would have gotten out of bounds for the first to stop the clock. So somebody's going to remind Jeff Kemp that John L.'s out there waiting for you.
1:55 to go. Seattle needs a touchdown. If they scored and hit the extra point, they'd go ahead. It's 16-10 Denver. 2nd down and 10 now for the Seahawks. Kemp drops and looks and throws and completes it to Brian Blades. Another first down for Seattle as Blades is down to the 28-yard line. And the clock runs down to 1:45 to play, and now it's stopped on a timeout.
That's Seattle's first timeout of the second half. They have 2 left. Again, the crossing pattern. You see Scansy and Kane on the inside. They try to scrape people off, so Blades is by himself, and it works. And then you think he's going to go out of bounds. Not Brian Blades. Kroll 51 on the tackle. First down pickup. Drive stays alive.
And what you pointed out, Trump, about there's a lot of soft spots in that deep zone of Denver's. They're protecting against the 6-point throw, but they're giving up stuff that's going to get Seattle in scoring position.
There's Patrick Bolin, the owner of the Denver Broncos, on the sideline. Nobody's left this stadium. They started filing out a little while ago when it's 16-3, but they've found seats, hanging around for the end. Nervous time here at Mile High Stadium.
Kemp has to guard against the interception now. He's thrown 2 today. First down and 10. Denver continues with a 4-man rush, and again there's an open man, a drop ball.
Thrown behind him.
Scansy couldn't get back to it. Blades and Kane are getting doubled, and with good reason.
Watch this ball. He tries to turn around and catch it, but it's thrown behind him, and he can't quite get his hands on it. Decent coverage there. Kroll 51, Braxton 34. That play has worked, though. Crossing patterns across the middle have been open.
A lot of stuff open over the middle against the Denver zone. Jeff Kemp now over 300 yards passing. This team down by 6 with 1:40 to go. Second down and 10 for Seattle. Lewis Clark comes down with the ball, a gain of about 6 or 7 yards on the play, and the clock runs.
I don't know that I've ever seen a 300-yard passing performance by a quarterback and no touchdowns.
Third down and 4. Throwing a catch. Scansy comes up with the ball. He was downed inside the 15-yard line. It's a first down for Seattle. Now the Seahawks use their second timeout of the second half. They have 1 left.
Boy, this is unbelievable. There's Dave Craig.
And let's go back to New York for an update now while we have a moment to NFL Live and Bob Costas.
Don, the San Diego Chargers have a very tough early season schedule. This was one they could not afford to lose on their home field, and they do against Atlanta. That 47-yard attempt by John Carney wide to the left as time expired could have forced overtime. Instead, the Chargers are 0-3. The Falcons are 1-2, and they snap a 19-game road losing streak. Atlanta 13, the Chargers 10.
Tough times for Coach Henning and the Chargers. There is Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator in the blue shirt. He's the son of Bum Phillips, the longtime Houston Oilers coach.
You notice Dan Reeves over there. Wade, what are we doing here, pal? We got something different to run. They figured this defense out.
1:10 to go. Seattle with the ball, down by 6, 16-10. Seahawks have 1 timeout left. They're inside the 15-yard line of Denver. Kemp on the run. Takes a look. Here comes the rush. Throw downfield, and a hit made just before the ball came in. Lilo Lang popped the intended receiver, Blades, and the official right there ruled he timed it just right. Almost looked early as we look again.
Well, he's trying to throw it where if it's caught.
He got hit before the ball got.
It was close, very close. Lilo Lang was there, but I don't think even if the receiver catches that ball, it's going to be a reception. He's out of bounds, but he want to make sure he didn't throw the interception. Late substitution for Denver. Mills comes in. Mecklenburg goes out.
Now it's second down and 10. Again, they flood with 4 receivers. Kemp has time. He fires to the end zone. Almost picked off by Dennis Smith, who had one earlier. And we come to third down for Seattle.
Again, they're trying to go to the soft spot of this defense across the middle.
Great play by Smith.
Smith, a 7-foot high jumper in college, shows great leaping ability there. to tip the ball away.
Like an outfield that moves at the crack of the bat. Dennis Smith has great anticipation. Kemp hadn't even released the ball, and he was moving towards where it was going. He watched his eyes. Now it is 3rd down and 10 for Seattle. 1 timeout left. Seahawks trail by 6. Kemp looks. He fires into the end zone. Tipped away from Lewis Clark. And the Seahawks are down to a last chance.
Lilo Lang. Well, we saw Randy Robbins tip one away earlier. Dennis Smith tips one away, and now Lang. That is right between the 8 and the 4. If he doesn't tip it, it's caught, and Seattle's going for it on 4th down.
No alternative do they have. 4th down and 10. This press box is shaking. The 76,000 are up and stomping. Rocky Mountain Thunder exhorting the Denver defense. 4th down for Seattle. Their last chance with 51 seconds to play. They need 10 for a first down. Kemp looks. Releases. Not close. Denver takes over the ball and the game.
Now he threw that ball out of the end zone. That was intended to be a throwback. Paul Scansey was going back to the left-hand side. Kemp rolls right, and they're trying to get the throwback. See, he's looking at Scansey first. Walker is in there to pressure him, and he had to throw it. He had no choice, but I don't think that ball was catchable at all. A valiant effort, though, by the Seattle Seahawks.
Will Chamberlain couldn't have got a hand on that. It was.
How about Manute Bull? Manute Bull.
Manute might have gotten a hand on it.
First half, Kemp threw for 117. Second half, 203. 322 yards on the day, and no touchdowns. No touchdowns.
But in bitter disappointment, he stands on the sidelines as the Seahawks have stopped the clock for one final time with 39 seconds to play. And the Denver Broncos will go to 2-1 on the season and share first place with the Los Angeles Raiders, who earlier today beat the Indianapolis Colts in a shutout. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. Our game today produced by Bill Bunnell, directed by Richard Klein, associate director Ray Benassi. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy and 39 seconds to play, and the Broncos now in position to run out the clock as the Seahawks are out of timeout. A 4th down throw, an overthrow, and Coach Dan Reeves and his team in command of the game for most of the way. See it go right down to the final minute.
And how key were the tip passes we saw today? Robbins tips away a pass that was going to be completed for a touchdown. Smith did.
Now Trump, we will check today's Canon camcorder replay of the game.
Happened on this drive. We just saw it a few moments ago. Watch Dennis Smith back of the end zone. The receiver is open. Dennis Smith, the 7-foot high jumper out of college, tips the ball away. Intended for Scansey. And that was the play of the day.
And our thanks for helping the booth to Mark Friedman, Brad Pearson, and Merritt Cohn as the game clock winds out on the Seattle Seahawks and Coach Chuck Knox and Dan Reeves